you want to go to your browser. In this case, we're using Safari. You go to Gmail. You would have to be signed into your account already. Here you go to the menu and you choose Google Sheets. You open up a blank document, and here's the Google Sheets. You have the columns. These are columns. And then you have the rows. When you click here, it highlights the whole row. When you click here, it highlights the whole column. Google Sheets is like a big calculator. So any operation that you can do, simple operation that you can do with numbers, you can do it with Google Sheets without using a calculator. So here we go. Let's just do simple addition. You can do, let's try this. Plus, one second, plus 3, 4, 5. Now, it doesn't give us an answer. The reason it doesn't give us an answer is because you have to precede the number with an equal sign or a plus sign. So let's do it again. 3, 4, 3 plus 3, 4, 5. Now it gives you the answer. Here we don't have the equal sign or plus sign. Here we have it. You can use plus as well. 3, 4, 3 plus 3, 4, 5. It gives you the answer. But look what it does. It automatically changes it to equal. So use the equal sign to say that. You can do the same with multiplication. You do 3, 4, 3. You would use the asterisk for multiplication. 3, 4, 5. Don't use the X or times sign. It will not work. And that gives you multiplication. So you see you use the asterisk here. And you could do the same with division. You could do 3, 4, 3. Use the slash, // 3, 4, 5. And that will be for division. You hit enter and that gives you that. All right. Now, we did addition, multiplication, division. Let's do subtraction. Let's do 3, 4, 5 minus 3, 4, 3, or the difference of those two numbers. And you get that. Okay? So you see the subtraction. Now you can also add a series of numbers or a list of numbers. Okay, you can put this, you put the cursor where you want your total to show up, and you go here and you can do the sum. Once you do that, you can just highlight the numbers that you are using, and it shows you that it's going from column F7 to, I'm sorry, from F4 to F7. And then all you do is you hit enter and you get your total. Now, if you were doing working with dollars or currency, you can format it so that it shows a dollar sign. So you can use a dollar sign with decimals, or you could use a dollar sign without decimals or without cents. All right, so let's do it with this one also. You can highlight this whole section and it will give you the opportunity to change everything in that section. All right, so you see here everything has a dollar sign. You can also just decide to do the whole column and say we're going to change it to leaving out the cents. All right, now you can also add a border around these. All right, so I added a border. You can also use colors. Okay, so I use colors here. Let's see what this does here. So you have a head. This is called the header. This is the footer. You can play around with this and see how you want to use the colors. All right. Now let's say I don't want any colors. I can just highlight the whole thing and say I don't want any. Okay, that didn't work, so let's do it again. Clear formatting is what we need to do. Okay. All right, so you can also write something over here. It can take the text also. Just do that. If you want to center this, just go here and do it here. It will center it. You can also put a border here if you wish. All right. Okay. Now here's something I want to show you that you can decide that. Let's say you have a list of items and you want to see how many items that you're selling for the month of June. Okay, so let's say we do sales for June, and you're selling sports equipment or sports items. Let's say sneakers, and you're selling sneakers. You're checking out the sneakers that you sell for $90 each. Now, let me expand this column. You're selling jerseys at let's say $45 each. Okay, let's change this. Let's do this instead. I complicated the whole thing, so let's do it this way. Let's do the names. We have sneakers, we have jerseys, we have basketballs, footballs, baseballs. Okay, so the sneakers we said, uh, so this is the cost of each item. So let's say the sneakers are $90. We say the jerseys are $45. We say the basketball are $25. Footballs are $30. And baseballs are $15. Okay, so again, remember we can just say the format over here for the number, and we can just say we want it in currency, and so we can look at total sales for June. Okay, so I can actually take these columns and multiply it times the number. All right, so if we have let's add a column. We can insert a column. Let's do that. You can insert a column to the left or to the right. I'm going to do it for the left here. So let's say we sell for the month of, so quantity. I'm going to make these centered. It makes it look better. All right, let's say we did we sold 40 pairs of sneakers. We sold 30 jerseys. We sold, it was a very busy month. We sold 125 basketballs. We sold 30 footballs, and we sold 20 baseballs. So here, you can actually just multiply this whole column times this column and get the total sales. What you would do is identify the locations or the address for each of these. So here's I, and this is row 4. So this is I4 times, it would be I4 times J4. So you can just do this, equal I4 times J4, or the product of those two things. All right, so you would have 40 times 90. You expect to have 3,600, and that would be your total. So now that you've figured it out for the first one, you don't have to do it for each individually. You could just copy. All right, it wants you to do, in Google Sheets, you have to use these commands for copy. Copy is what I remember. Copy, and let's see if we can do the paste. Paste. All right, so it says you have to do this. Command C and Command V. So let's do that again. So let's do Command V on your keyboard. All right, so that works. So you do 30 times 45 is 1350. This is 3125. And now you could do the totals also. You don't need to, you could do totals here because you don't really need to do the total costs because these are individual costs. So we'll just say here, totals. And so I can do the totals for these now, right? How many items did we sell all together? 70 plus 125 is 195. 320, 225, 245 is the total that you expect, unless I added incorrectly, but 245. Hit enter, 245, and now we're looking at the total dollars that we collected for that month. You would do the same here. Highlight these, hit enter. There you go. You collected $9,275 in sales. All right. You could do the same with expenses. You could make a column called expenses. And I'm just going to use a couple of items. So we'll say electricity. We'll say travel. You had to travel across town or travel overseas to go where you need to do for your sales. Or you could do, let's say, cleaning supplies. All right, if I increase this column and increase it for everything. All right, so cleaning supplies, and then what other expense can we have? Phone. Yes, you always have the phone. All right, so let's say for electricity, you spent $500. For travel, you spent $3,000. Cleaning supplies, you spent, let's say, $125. For phone, you spent, you have a lot of employees, so you spent $800. Not a lot of employees, but maybe you have about 8 phones, okay, or something close to that. Now, you could also do your expenses, do your column for your expenses. We add the expenses. All right, so we want these to be in dollars. We go here and format. You could play around with this and figure out what's better for you, but you could do this also. You could do a right click and let's see where it says format. It doesn't give you the option to format from here. But you can do different things like insert rows, insert columns, insert cells, delete rows, etc. But it doesn't give you the option for format, so you would have to do it from here. All right. Now, I want to show you that you can take totals and subtract totals. All right. So profit, the profit for you would be your sales minus expenses will tell you how much profit you have. All right. How much money did you make? If most of your money was in sales, then you would make a profit. If most of your money was expenses, you would have a loss. All right. So you're going to take your total sales, which is located in K10. K10. You take K10 the same way we did it before, K10, and the difference, or subtract K10, subtract expenses from K10. You could click on it and it would put it here, J20. So we have J20, and that will give you the number. So your total profit for the month of June is $4,850 that you can use to buy more things or to spend on yourself. That will be your profit. All right. So you can use this to put a color Since it's your profits, you get green. If you had a loss, you could say, I'm going to put it in red. I lost money. Okay. All right. So these are the basics for using Google Sheet. I showed you that you can do the addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. And I also showed you that you can do headings. You can also make columns where you have your items. You can multiply the columns and have them here. You can subtract the totals as well, or whatever you do. You just have to make sure you tell the computer which addresses you're using. So in this case, it would be F4. All right. You can also put colors for these if you want, embellish it, make it nicer. You can do that. You can decide to do this if you want. It's up to you to play around and figure out what you want to do with these things. Okay, make it prettier. Okay, here you can also decide the size. I meant to make the screen bigger. Okay, so let's see. Here you can use average, you could count, you could all these different things you could do. As you get better, you can use all these things as well. All right, so that was the tutorial on using Google Sheets. Hope this helps you a whole lot.